Hey everybody, it's your boy labbearome, the disabled fragrance guy, and I'm back for another review. Do me a favor if you haven't done so already, go down below, like and subscribe to the channel. While you're down there, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified about every time I drop a video to YouTube. So y'all, it's time for me to do what I've seen other people do, and I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here, but I am going to give you a review today on another reviewer's fragrance. So I have been corresponding with Cameron Bird from Carolina Fragrance Reviews for well over a year. And I actually want to call him my mentor. And I have not called him that, when we've corresponded, but I am officially going to call him my mentor in this video because all throughout the beginnings of my content creation journey, he has given me advice, told me what to do, told me what not to do, told me to steer away from this, that, and the other thing. Told me, hey, get on your A game. Don't ever do this. Don't ever do that. He has just given me so much advice. And so when he put out his fragrance, he reached out to me and said, hey, I want you to review it. And so I started sweating because I'm like, oh God, I actually know you and we've corresponded. And so this kind of makes me nervous. He's like, don't worry about it. Give me your honest thoughts. I don't want you to, fake it or anything like that for me, and I'm not going to. But this review is going to be on Carolina Fragrance Reviews 2.6 Elixir. This came out in 2020. The notes behind it in 2021. Bird. Notes: we have tobacco, honey, rum, mandarin, pink pepper, cinnamon, vanilla, dried fruit, tonka bean, benzoin, and sandalwood. So this is my scent of the day. I've been rocking it all day. I'm going to give you guys a fresh spray on skin. Beautiful atomizer in this bottle. And from the top, we have I'm salivating right now because this is a very mouth-watering honey note. This is the best honey note I have smelled in a fragrance in quite some time. So that greets you upon the first spray. The honey is definitely front and center. I do get a little bit of tobacco behind the honey, which is interesting because I didn't really think that the tobacco would be present. I thought the honey would overtake that because of the sweetness. However, the honey and the tobacco are walking side by side and they marry very well together. You can definitely tell them apart distinctively, but they marry so well together as well. It's amazing. There is a rum note here. It's in the back of the tobacco and the honey. Now, I don't know how this happened, but you can tell each note distinctively of each other, and you can tell them when they're mingled together as well. It's a beautiful thing. The mandarin, you would think with all these heavy notes, the tobacco, the honey, the rum, the cinnamon, that it would be a darker type of fragrance. No, it's not. The mandarin lifts it up a little bit and creates a little bit more of a brighter fragrance. So I do believe that you could pull for this year round if you control your sprays. There's a little bite of the pink pepper on the back end, so it gives it a little bit of a spicy edge. And there's definitely the cinnamon that you can tell as well. This fragrance has an authenticity about it. And what I mean by that is that you can tell that there were no corners cut with this fragrance. You can tell that, Cam just didn't, go half on this. This fragrance was made with authenticity, respect, love, and care. And that goes exactly to who Cam Bird is. He has never, been a person to me that would, signify someone who would just, brush you off or be fake with you in any way, shape, or form. Cam is an authentic person, and it shines through in this authentic fragrance. Like I said, there are a lot of heavy notes in here, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. There's a slight sharpness from the pink pepper and the cinnamon that gives it an added depth, an added, range to the fragrance as well. This could just be your run-of-the-mill typical tobacco and honey fragrance, but no, there's a depth here aided by the pink pepper and the cinnamon. Now, this could be worn by a professional suit and tie type of guy. I am that guy. I wear suits and ties on a regular basis, but it also has a kind of a bad boy edge to it. So if you're in a suit and tie, you know, all buttoned up for work and things like that, like I pretty much always am when I go into the office, you know, this could be worn by that guy, but it can also be worn by the after hours suit and tie guy when he takes his tie off and just, you know, lets loose for a little bit, has a couple of drinks in his system, goes out, glad hands, passes out business cards and goes networking. That's the type of guy that also wears this fragrance. The vanilla and the sandalwood give a mild sweetness to the fragrance. It's not overly sweet, don't get me wrong. I would probably bash this if it were overly sweet, because even though I do like gourmands, overly sweet fragrances give me a headache. So I'm thankful that this is not overly sweet, but there is a slight sweetness to it that gives it that sophisticated edge, balsamic edge to it. And I'm absolutely getting niche vibes. This is not your run-of-the-mill tobacco fragrance, guys. This is not something that you would find in Macy's or Sephora or Dillard's or wherever your department stores are. No. If this were put out by Amouage or Anicio or, you know, somebody like that, you would absolutely pay $250, $300 for this. Absolutely. If this was put out by BDK, you would pay over $200 for this. It just so happens it's not. Thankfully, I'm not going to pay over $200 for it, and you won't either, because the price point is right. But that's the type of quality that is in 26 Elixir. You cannot tell me that this is not niche quality. I'm telling you right now. It's been, you know, heralded on the Facebook groups. I've seen pictures of that people have posted that have, you know, given the props to the fragrance, and it is definitely deserving of its due. The performance on my skin is amazing, lasts 8.5 to 9 hours. It never really becomes a skin scent, but it never really pushes either. It just, you know, sits kind of close around your orbit, and you're definitely gonna get noticed. So, like I said a minute ago, this has niche vibes to it. And there's one fragrance that I know of, that I've owned, that I've worn, that I've loved, that I can compare this to. This reminds me of Argos Triumph of Bacchus. If you have seen or experienced Argos Triumph of Bacchus, you need to get your noses on 26 Elixir, because, and you can't tell me that they're not going to be similar, because doggone it, to my nose, they are. I mean, you could tell me that, but my opinion. So yeah, it definitely reminds me of Argos Triumph of Bacchus. Guys, 26 Elixir is where it's at for this fall and winter. That's where I'm at with this. I can't say enough about this. If you haven't experienced already, and I think that they've actually sold out, so you might have to wait a bit for them to get more in stock. When they get it in stock, you need to get your noses on this. Get a sample, get a bottle. Get a sample, get a bottle. I'm telling you right now, you are not going to regret it at all. I want to thank sincerely and give all my appreciation to Cam Bird for sending this for my review. All opinions are my own. I'm not going to give a favorable review just because I got something in the mail. You guys know that. But this fragrance, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm trying to put in for another bottle, another sample, whatever the case may be, because I don't want to be without it. Cam, you did a great job. You did a great job. Your hard work, your dedication, your advice, your everything is in this bottle, and it is appreciated, my brother. Thank you so much for putting this banger out. I'm going to leave a link down below to where you can get 26 Elixir. I'm also going to leave a link to Cam's YouTube channel and his Instagram down below. If you are not following him, I don't know what you're doing. You should be, and you should also be following me. So go down below, like and subscribe, and I'll check you next time.